Hey there guys, how you doing? I hope you are all doing well and staying safe during these crazy times. I actually was sick last weekend. Don't know if it seemed like it was like a weird 24-hour flu bug. Don't think it was the Rona, but I'm feeling better now, so we're gonna get back on schedule here. I did a poll on my Instagram and Facebook stories a couple weeks ago asking, hey, what should I vlog about next? The options were talking about Rise of Skywalker or the newest season of Doctor Who. Well, in case you can't tell, so for all my life, since I was 8 years old and saw the original trilogy on VHS before the special edition, I have loved Star Wars. And in fact, the only time I've ever really been given a nickname was in 5th grade, and everyone in my class called me Star Wars Freak. So I love Star Wars, always have. I was a little nervous when I had heard that George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, but was pretty excited when they announced that they were going to be doing more movies. And for the most part, I have liked the different things that they have made. Loved Rogue One. Solo was okay. Mandalorian was awesome. So excited that they've brought Clone Wars back. I really enjoyed Rebels. I haven't really had an opportunity to check out the comics and the new books of the new continuity, but I was pretty upset when they announced that only the 6 movies and the Clone Wars series were canon when Disney took over, and that they swiped away 30 years of expanded universe, 40 years, 40 years of expanded universe materials. So there's always been this little part of me that's looked for things to nitpick on, like, oh, the expanded universe is that so much better, or oh, I missed this character, or this event, or why did they change the name of Korriban to Moraban? Of course, that was George. And what did they do to the Mandalorians? Of course, again, that was George, not Disney's fault. But you get the idea. Now, I'm by no means someone who's like, oh, only the old stuff is better. Because like I said, there's been stuff that Disney has put out that I have really enjoyed and really liked. So coming into the sequel trilogy. The movies have been out for a long time. Pretty much everyone has seen it now. If by any chance you have not seen Rise of Skywalker or the sequel trilogy of films, I guess spoiler alert, I'm not going to hide anything in this video. Overall, I like it. Okay, don't get me wrong, I like them. Force Awakens was a good way to kick off this new era of Star Wars. Was I a little butthurt that Han and Leia's son was named Ben instead of Jason? Sure. When Han is walking out onto the bridge, I was literally in the theater going, please call him Jason, please call him Jason, please call him Jason. Ben! What? That was Luke and Mara Jade's son. Oh, okay. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was a good way to bring back Star Wars. They played some things safe. They took some risks in other places. Gave us a whole bunch of questions and mysteries that I was really excited about finding the answers to. Then comes The Last Jedi. That one's had me torn. I mean, we all know there's all the different problems that they had with the movie. The pointless side quest with Finn and Rose, and the terrible strategy and leadership of Admiral Holdo, and brushing away, oh, Rey's parents are nobodies, and oh, Snoke, who is he? Who cares? He's dead. And then Luke. Okay, as a kid, Luke Skywalker was my hero. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker when I grew up. So when they killed off Luke at the end of The Last Jedi, I was devastated. Not gonna lie, I was straight up devastated. I sat in the car when we got home and cried. I have no shame in admitting that. I cried because they killed Luke. So at the time, I really was in the bandwagon of, oh man, The Last Jedi was not a good Star Wars movie. And then we come to Rise of Skywalker. Carrie Fisher has died. They've changed directors and scripts. They've only given themselves a 2-year window between films. how are they going to make a movie about Princess Leia, which is what they were supposed to do? I mean, how do you do the Star Wars movie without Leia? I was surprised to hear that they had unused footage that they were going to use. And so I knew going in they had to have had a difficult time pulling things off with the combination of Carrie Fisher's death and where The Last Jedi left things. It was going to be hard for them to pick up the pieces and come up with something good. So I went in knowing that I was going to have to give them some grace here. And considering what they had to work with, I think they did a really good job. That said, I found myself at the end surprisingly underwhelmed.
You're overwhelmed. Freeze was underwhelmed. Why isn't anyone ever just whelmed?
Especially by the finale. I mean, in the moment, it was like, whoa, look at all those ships. And, oh, whoa, listen to all these Jedi voices. But then at the end of it all, yeah, I just felt underwhelmed. And I watched it again. And it kind of hit me like, as a fan film, this is great. Again, I think part of it is because of the problems they had going in. It really feels like because of how much backlash they got from the risks and the differences in Last Jedi, they pulled back and played it too safe, I think. I find myself looking at this trilogy, I think I like The Last Jedi better than Rise of Skywalker. Which, coming out of Last Jedi, I would not have expected. I think I actually appreciate the risks they took. And the things that they did different. Yes, there are still a lot of problems. It's actually, I feel the same way about The Last Jedi, the way I felt about Attack of the Clones when it first came out. Yeah, it had problems. But overall, I loved it because it had a lot of things that I really liked. Like the massive army of Jedi charging the battle droids. I love Jedi. So that, to me, it was just like, I love this. Now with The Last Jedi, yes, it still has problems. Hollo's storyline was terrible. Finn and Rose were useless in the film. Way too preachy about hope, and we're the hope for the galaxy, and we're the spark that will burn the First Order to the ground, and it's not about saving, it was so preachy. But on paper, Rey's storyline, and even with Luke being this depressed, defeated hermit, I think it's actually a better film overall than Rise of Skywalker. And again, that is giving Rise of Skywalker grace because they did not have a great start. They were handicapped quite a bit. But I do think part of the problem is it seemed like there was no overarching vision of what story are we telling with these three movies. Because at least with the prequels, you had one person in control of the whole thing, so it was a unified vision. So even despite its flaws, there's continuity and you know where the story is going. It has a destination from the very beginning. With the sequel trilogy, I don't think we had that. Too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's like they didn't set out beforehand, here is where our movies are going to go. It's like they didn't know who Rey was. All those fan theories that were floating around of, is Rey the granddaughter of Obi-Wan? Is she Luke's daughter or whatever? It's like they didn't know those answers going in. They just said, hey, let's have this mysterious girl. She's special. How? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. And I think the film suffers as a result. Because they didn't know, they weren't able to properly set up the reveal in a good way. Like if they had known from the beginning that Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter, there were better ways they could have seeded that. I think How It Should Have Ended had in their little opening crawl. At the end of The Last Jedi, they should have revealed that Palpatine was alive and have that be the cliffhanger leading into the next movie. That would have been way more powerful than revealing Palpatine's return in the trailer. I mean, yeah, it was a good reveal for the trailer, but looking at the narrative overall, it would have been better if they had planted those seeds throughout the first two films. And of course, unfortunately, because of Carrie Fisher's death and the way they had to handle that, it does make Leia's storyline suffer. there's no adequate explanation in my mind of why did Leia die. She whispers, calls out to Ben, and then dies. It's almost like she died the way Padme died. She lost the will to live. And it's just so out of nowhere. And even if they just had a line, you have Maz Kanata say something about, oh, Leia's still not doing well because of her being spaced in the last movie. I mean, that certainly would have a toll on someone's health. So even just they already had lines explaining, oh, Leia knows what she has to do. They could have been just as on the nose with saying why she would have died just from calling out in the Force, Ben. That shouldn't have cost her life. So that I felt was mishandled. Ben dying at the end. For me, I got more upset and disappointed at that because, one, the timing. And even the second time I saw it in the theater, they kiss and then he dies, and someone in the theater ruined the emotion of the moment by going, her kiss killed him. But that was my initial thought too. So I don't care about them kissing. Whatever, make them a couple, I don't care. Friend zone, Finn, whatever, doesn't bother me. Wouldn't it have been more powerful for a better redemption? I mean, yeah, sure, he died like the way Vader died. Except not really, because Rey did all the work. When Vader died, his redemption was chucking the Emperor down the shaft, right? And thereby earning his redemption, yes, in the process it killed him. With Ben, it was more, he killed the Knights of Ren, helped Rey fight off one of the Emperor's guards, and that was it. Palpatine chucks him down the hole, and that's it. Where is his redemption? I mean, yeah, we see him make that decision with that vision of Han and chucking the saber away. But that turn back to the light side had no payoff. He gets there in time to do nothing. It was like Finn and Rose's storyline. They get to Snoke's ship to do nothing. Ben was the same way. If it had been him blasting Palpatine to oblivion or sacrificing his life to do that, that would have made his redemption make sense. And it would have given power to that. He would have actively been sacrificing himself to save everyone. Now, bringing Rey back to life, sure, that's a nice sacrifice, but I don't think it wasn't as powerful as it should have been, given the journey of the films leading to that point. Now, I will say I was so happy that they brought Wedge Antilles back, even just for that 2-second clip. They at least brought him back. So yeah, it's this weird feeling. I never expected to be underwhelmed by a Star Wars movie. It just feels weird to me. And so as a result, I have this weird feeling about the movies. And just about Star Wars in general now, where it's gone. It's like, I kind of want to just try to find all the expanded universe stuff and collect that again and just enjoy those stories. Now they're called legends, whatever. But so yeah, it's weird. Rise of Skywalker makes me look back at The Last Jedi and think, hey, that wasn't so bad. Which I'm glad I don't have a very large YouTube audience, because I know I would be murdered, burned at the stake for saying that, I'm sure. So yeah, what do you guys think? What did you think of Rise of Skywalker? Did you like it as a finale for the film series? Did you hate it? Which of the sequel movies is your favorite? Do you agree that maybe Last Jedi wasn't all that bad? Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble for a while. Next vlog, I will probably, if it's not a behind the scenes thing, I'll probably go ahead and do Doctor Who, because, that's still a thing. Yeah, either way, hopefully I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.